Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Yo Honglin with Mr. Tony Reid in the studio. Hello, Tony.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? TJ Reid in the studio, and today I think we're going to talk about something that resonates with me quite a bit.
Oh, totally. Looking at you walking into the studio in perfect shape and told me that you've had this very healthy meal and you're staying on your very healthy, let's say, diet and exercising and doing everything right to stay in good health.
I try my best, and you flatter me again, as usual. I do what I can to stay in shape, but yes, I would consider myself a health nut.
I would say you're a hardcore health nut.
Hardcore, huh?
Because
I've seen some more harder core
because
health
I've
nuts where I'm
seen
from.
fake or trying to be hardcore but really not hardcore health nut kind of people. Yeah, they would claim that they need to stay in good health. They want to, keep in good shape. But actually, you check out what they're eating. You see whether or not they're hitting the gyms. You would know, they're only claiming to be health nut.
Well, I think there's different facets. Defining what a health nut is, right?
Oh,
it's
subjective. That's true.
So, I think, staying in good health is key for, I think, everybody. It's everybody's business to try to be healthy.
Yes, and stay in good health, 养生 in Chinese.
养生.
Yes, 养 carries the meaning of cultivate.
Cultivate, okay.
And 生 is like 生命, your life. 生活 the life you're living. So 养生 means cultivating your body, your living, your, everything. So stay in good health.
Okay.
It's not only about eating or exercising or, let's say, your schedule in the day. It's all that combined. 养生.
养生.
A very trendy word these days. Nowadays, like you said, more and more people started to pay attention to their health conditions.
Yeah.
Especially after your annual health checkups. You realize you really need to do something about it.
Or there's someone close to you who's suffering from a condition. I think that's what makes a lot of people realize, wow, maybe I need to make some changes.
Yes, that too. So 养生, a topic that each and every one of us should pay a little more attention to.
Absolutely.
And today, that is our topic. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. If you're interested, I can also make some videos about people trying really hard to keep themselves in good health conditions and, the really traditional Chinese tips. Just let us know in the comment area.
Nice.
But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway.
你最近气色看起来不错。
这阵儿我做了很多关于养生的功课，比如每天睡前都会用热水泡脚。
你发现了吗？现在越来越多的年轻人都开始注意养生了。
是啊，保温杯里泡枸杞已经成为他们的标配了。
你最近气色看起来不错。
这阵儿我做了很多关于养生的功课，比如每天睡前都会用热水泡脚。
你发现了吗？现在越来越多的年轻人 都开始注意养生了。
是啊，保温杯里泡枸杞已经成为他们的标配了。So do you even understand how come these two tips mentioned in the conversations are supposed to be good to your health?
I would imagine they're related to TCM or traditional Chinese medicine. I can vibe with the soaking of the hot water or soaking your feet in the hot water because I actually do that these days. I didn't used to, but these days recently I've been doing that.
Huh, you've been in China for too long, I think, if that's a thing.
I don't know if it's a China thing. Like even people back home, like that are close to me, also soak their feet in hot water. So, yeah.
That's interesting. What about the goji berry thing? Do you like
that
goji
I've never
berry?
Heard of. I mean, goji berry is I've tried it because I'm a fan of TCM. So I'm aware of a lot of interesting herbs here in China.
Okay.
So, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't felt any difference from taking the goji berry, but yeah, I can see why it would be prescribed by a doctor.
All right. So before we dig into this conversation, I think it's only fair if we explain the language first so that our listeners would know what we're doing here.
Sure.
So for the first sentence, 你最近气色看起来不错.
So that's you look pretty well these days. That's the English translation.
I think it's a good translation because sometimes I feel like 气色 is a word hard to translate, but we'll get there. So 你最近
你 is you, 最近 is recently. And then 气色 is complexion.
Complexion, it's a thing that only I feel like Chinese people would, let's say, stress. Because if you say 你看起来不错, you look good.
Yeah.
你看起来 you look 不错, good, not bad. It's about the overall vibe you're giving. It's like it can be because you had a really nice sleep, so you look good, or it can also be because you look really sharp or smart today because of your outfit and your overall appearance. And it can also be for me sometimes if I've got really good makeup. So it can be anything. 你看起来不错, you look good. But 气色, we know the concept of Chinese qi, so the era.
The energy that's inside the body, the mysterious Chinese energy.
Yeah, the qi, the atmosphere. And 色 carries the meaning of 颜色, color. So 气色 is kind of like
the energy you give off.
Yes, but I can get the energy you give off only by looking at your face.
Yeah, okay.
That's the idea.
So
气色.
in English, we would just say, yeah, your complexion looks a little pale. That's normally not a good thing. But if we say, wow, you are glowing today.
A little bit like that.
It's
yes.
like, it means positive. Like your skin looks bright and it looks like you're emanating all this energy.
Yes, and if you want to express that in Chinese, you can say 你气色很好.
很好.
气色.
Right. So 气色, the elaborate explanation means just your energy or your complexion, what your complexion gives off.
Yes.
All right, 看起来 looks like. And then 不错 is actually not
bad. But remember, when Chinese people say not bad, we're actually saying really good. So
yeah, that's
不错 is a positive thing. Don't consider it as it's not bad.
In
it's
English,
just
like
like
not
that.
bad is just like, yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's wow. 这阵儿我做了很多关于养生的功课，比如每天睡前都会用热水泡脚。
All that says I've been doing a lot of research on how to stay healthy. For example, I soak my feet in hot water before I go to bed every day.
Yes.
Yeah. So, 这 that should be this.
This.
And then 真儿. What is that?
That is a very northern way or even a Beijing way of saying 阵. 一阵 means a period of time, a while. And 一阵儿 is just, I feel like the dialect or the accent.
Okay, so 这儿 here means what?
A period of time. This recently. So 这阵儿 recently.
Okay, so this is a set phrase for meaning recently.
Yes.
Okay, we could also say 最近.
最近 works.
我 做了 I think that's did.
Yes.
很多 I think that's a lot.
A lot or many.
And then 关于.
关于.
I think this 关于 is like about.
It's about 关于. So you can put the theme of the things you're talking about after 关于. So 关于 it can be used in a few ways, often making a topic of a statement or modifying a noun. So you can say, for example, 关于中国历史我知道的不多. So 关于中国历史 about Chinese history. 我知道的不多 I know not a lot. So you put the theme of the topic after 关于. Or you can say 关于中文我可以和你聊聊 about the Chinese language. I can talk to you for a while. I can talk about the theme for a while. So that's how you use 关于.
Sounds a little complicated, but I think in general you're saying that for 关于, this is up means about, and the subject comes after that.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. 养生, I think this is the healthy life.
Yes.
Right? The 功课, this is like research. Right?
Research. So
healthy
做
life
功课.
research.
做功课. I think when I first met with this word, it means do your homework. It still kind of is. You do your homework about how to stay healthy in life. And 做功课, because we have another expression, 做作业.
做作业.
That's really, literally, do your homework. 作业 is your homework, but it refers to the schoolwork or the homework you have from your teacher. Whereas 做功课 also carries the meaning of do your research.
All right. 比如, I think that's for example.
For example.
每天, this is every day. 睡前, I think that's related to sleep, right?
Yes, it's 睡 is sleep, 前 is before, so before you go to
before
sleep.
sleep. 都, I think this 都 is
all or both.
All or, yeah. 会, is this can?
Yes, or would.
Okay. 用, that's normally used.
It is used.
热水, that's hot water.
Hot water.
And then 泡脚, I know 脚 is feet. And then 泡 must mean like soak or
yes.
bath. Or...
So 用 something, to do something. 用笔写字, use my pen to write down words. 用筷子吃饭, use chopsticks to eat food. You can see that in the Chinese sentence, there's no preposition. You don't need to say use your chopsticks to have food. You just say 用筷子, use chopsticks.
我用
吃饭.
筷子.
我用筷子吃饭, eat food.
Okay, do you even need to say eat food? It's...
No. I'm just saying when you want to use this structure, you don't have to have a preposition.
Okay, cool. Makes sense.
用 something, do something. Use something to do something.
用手机打电话?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. 我用手机打电话. I use my phone to make a phone call. 你发现了吗？现在越来越多的年轻人都开始注意养生了。
That says, have you noticed that more and more young people are paying attention to their health nowadays?
More or less, yep.
So, 你, I think that's you. 发现, I think that's notice, right?
Notice or discover.
And then 了吗, so have you noticed?
Have you noticed?
That's a question. And then 现在, it's like now or currently.
Yep.
越来越, it's like something is gradually. 多 means increasing.
Yes.
Right? And then so something is increasing. 年轻人, I think that's
the something.
Young people.
Yes, more and more young people.
Yeah, so more and more young people. 都 is this all? 开始, this is start.
Start to, yep.
注意, is that like, that's not wish, that's pay attention.
Pay attention to, yes.
注意, that's wish, right?
Wish
so,
you,
so
yeah.
注 is
wish. 注 can be wish, but here 注意, again, same pronunciation, different character. 注意 means to pay attention. Perfect.
At least I got the pronunciation right this time.
Yes, you totally did.
And then 养生 again, I think that's healthy life, right?
注意养生, pay attention to getting a healthier life, a healthier pattern. 养生, this is the verb as well as a noun. You can use it in both ways.
Oh, really?
都开始注意养生了。是啊，保温杯里泡枸杞已经成为他们的标配了。
So this is, yes, a thermos cup with hot wolf wolfberry tea has become their standard package.
I think you can call it wolfberry tea or goji berry.
Yeah, both of them work.
Yes.
So sure or sure, this is yes,
Yes.
or agree. 保温杯.
保温杯 thermos
保温
cup.
杯. This is the thermos cup. Yeah. 礼泡.
里
礼.
within.
So this
so
is
within the thermos cup.
inside.
And 泡 we know is soak.
Yeah, that's right. 泡 is soap. And then 枸杞, I think that's the berry that you were talking about. goji.
枸杞 goji berry or wolfberry. It's called wolfberry. Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that before. I'm learning something too.
已经, I think that's already. 成为, I think this is become. 他们 is they, or 他们的 is their. And then 标配了. So 标配 is a standard deal or standard order or package.
Yes. I think the conversation is quite straightforward. Do you have any questions?
None that I haven't already asked.
Great. Then let's give it a go.
All right.
You can start.
你最近气色看起来不错。
这阵儿我做了很多关于养生的功课，比如每天睡前都会用热水泡脚。
你发现了吗？现在越来越多的年轻人都开始注意养生了。
是啊，保温杯里泡枸杞已经成为他们的标配了。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin, and Tony. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's learn more expressions about staying in good health. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Tony here in the studio. Actually, in the Chinese language as well as the Chinese culture, there are many expressions, many sayings, most of them, if not all of them, rhyme about staying in good health. I'm going to ask you several, and you can see whether or not you can find the English equivalent or a similar English version.
Okay.
We have 一日三早长生不老. So 一日 is one day. 三 3 早 the Chinese date. 长生 long live 不老 not getting old.
Dates 3 times a day and you'll live forever.
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have like a set expression, but yeah, just eat.
Do you people say apple a day keeps doctor away?
Yeah, we say that.
I think it's similar because it's about eating a certain kind of fruit, keeps you healthy. Yeah, you see the resemblance.
There's a little, I mean, you say live for a long time, right?
Yeah, but the live for a long time is, again, wishful thinking, and it represents good health. It doesn't really matter if I say the doctors are away or you can live for really long. It's all for the same direction,
Yeah.
same goal.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you on that. Yeah, pretty much.
Do you guys eat date that much, though?
No, we don't do too many dates. At least not the dried fruit. But I don't recall eating any dates until, I guess there's the Middle Eastern dates that are eaten.
They are pretty sweet.
Yeah, those are much sweeter than the ones that I've eaten out here in China.
Yeah, not what I would consider super healthy.
Well, they're high in minerals.
Oh.
And I eat them because they have a lot of like magnesium, which is great for digestion. Right.
We're getting a bit too specific about this and too serious. It's just sayings.
No, you just said they're unhealthy. I was like, hey, wait a minute. They actually are pretty healthy.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And I have another one. 饭后百步走，活到99. This is a funny one too. We know 饭 is food. 后 is afterwards. So in the conversation, we talked about 睡前. So sleep before you go to sleep. And here is this 饭后, so food after. It means after your meal. 饭后百步走, 百 is 100. 步 step, 走 walk. So it means don't just sit down or lie down after a meal. Walk at least 100 steps after a meal. 活到99, live till you're 99 years old. I just realized a lot of Chinese idioms and sayings and these old sayings have something to do with live a really long life. So 饭后百步走，活到99. Do you have similar ideas in English about
Just
walking?
Walk off your food after you eat.
That's
pretty much, but it's largely for diet purposes. Walk it off means like you're walking off the calories, right? So that you don't gain too much weight.
But it doesn't rhyme.
No, it doesn't rhyme.
When it doesn't rhyme, it doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound as convincing.
Well, yeah, I suppose it just sounds like a common phrase, but yeah, the cute ones always rhyme. But
yes.
Yeah, there's hardly ever Chinese and English equivalents. You know, you have to really pry, and a lot of times they don't really match.
Sometimes I feel like when they rhyme, they're just much more convincing, which is not true.
No.
But that's kind of like the charm of the language somehow. And let me introduce you to several Chinese idioms that are related to living a long life or not seeing the doctor too much.
Okay.
We've got 长命百岁.
长命百岁.
Yes.
Bai, is that white?
百 here is 100.
Oh, right,
So
right,
长
right.
is long.
长 is long.
命 is your life.
Oh, okay.
岁 is how many years old. So I think it's easy to understand. It means live a long life, 100 years old, kind of long.
Okay.
长命百岁. And we also have 延年益寿.
Nian.
益寿.
Nian is year.
年
right?
is year. So 延 means to stretch. 延年 means having more years. 益 is good to. 寿 is your longevity. So again, about stretching the lifespan of someone, making sure it's good to help them live a longer life. 延年益寿. So all these have something to do with the actual year you live in this world. But I think nowadays more and more people started to pay attention to their health condition, to the quality of their life.
Because those idioms don't apply anymore. I mean, you could walk 100 steps after eating McDonald's, but it wouldn't be enough. It needs to be more like 1,000 steps because of the calories and the gunk that's in the food.
But that's the thing, because people say they pay close attention to their life, to their health conditions. But in reality, they're just trying to do something good or healthy or positive to balance out the sins they've committed to their body. Like if you've had a really greasy and spicy hot pot the previous day, and the other day you try to have salad for 2 or 3 meals, I don't think it's healthy.
Well, it's better than doing nothing at all. It's better than having another greasy, spicy hot pot
The next
meal
day,
the next day.
That's
So
true. That's true.
I guess it all adds up to where it does something good for you, especially if it's high in fiber, like the dates that we talked about earlier. That all that gunk stuff comes out of your body, which is also really important.
Well, we do have an expression for that kind of behavior or that kind of mentality in Chinese. We call it 朋克养生.
朋克养生.
朋克 is actually punk, the music genre.
Really?
It's, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's all about free and liberty and do whatever you want, right? Punk, the spirit of it.
The spirit is going against the grain. So if the order is this.
Yeah. And then you've got 养生, the going really green, doing things good for your health. So they're contradicting to each other somehow. The reason the expression exists is because people, it is hard for them to control themselves all the time. So sometimes you would do things that you know that are harmful to your health, but at that moment you just want to have that satisfaction to eat that greasy chicken, fried chicken, and you want to stay up really late at night. You know it's bad for your health, but the health thing is the thing you are going to think about the next day. So you've put 朋克 and 养生 together. punk and stay in good health, together. That's their spirit. They have a slogan, 熬最深的夜，敷最贵的面膜. It means stay up really, really late and then use a really expensive cosmetic face mask to save your face, to save your skin.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's like using good stuff to kind of mitigate the bad stuff.
That's the idea. What do you think about it?
You got to do that sometimes. I think if you're really rigid, I think the people around you suffer. So every now and then, it's nice to splurge a little bit to make others happy. And if they're happy, sometimes it'll make you happy too. So you have to have that. You have to be a little flexible, pliable in that area. So yeah, I think for people who are health conscious, they do. For example, if they're going to eat a large cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory, they might they might eat it or drink some green tea with it.
Yeah, people do that too.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Actually, I do that too.
Yeah. So it's kind of a way to, okay, this is really bad, but at least I'm drinking this, and hopefully it'll balance it out in some way.
Or maybe it's just making myself a little less guilty.
Yeah. So of course. And then I'll just walk a little bit afterwards, or maybe I'll, exercise, go for, So yeah, I think people do it all the time. And for someone like me who's kind of, I would say, just health conscious, I try to, I do that all the time. The first example you said was to do something to cancel out or balance out the evil deed.
The evil deed.
Yeah.
But there is another genre, of course, when it comes to staying good health. They say you should learn about a lot of nutrition-related knowledge, and so that you do not have to push yourself so hard. You do not really have to say no to all the delicious food in the world. You just learn what's really good for you, what are the right proportion of each and every different ingredients, and you combine them in a smart and scientific way. And in that way, you do not really have to suffer to be healthy.
I don't know. I think I disagree. I think the more you know, the less you want to eat things. Because the more you know, you find that there's contaminants, and you find that there are issues with most of the food that we consume today. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say ignorance is bliss, but I don't know if knowing more is better.
Because I know, personally, you keep a really clean diet.
An insane diet.
See, that's the thing. I want to be healthier, but I don't want to go there. You're like really extreme, standing at the really extreme point all over there. I want to go a little bit closer to you, but not to where you are. What should I do in that sense?
Well, you can get sick. And once you get sick and your doctor tells you if you don't make any changes, you're going to die, then
I thought you were going to say
you'll come over to my zone.
You can starting exercise 5 minutes a day. I didn't expect you to say you can get sick.
No, that's not good enough. If you get sick, that's the biggest indicator. That's what really gets people moving, regardless of your age. If you are ill or you know someone that's ill, then that's when people move. I mean, that's just the way life is for all kinds of things. You have to suffer to make changes.
Let me make Tony's recommendation a little bit easier to accept for you guys listening out there. That is, if you are still 熬最深的夜，敷最贵的面膜. If you're still staying up really late and try to find a way to balance it out the other day, it can mean that you're living a not healthy lifestyle.
But there's no incentive because there's no reason.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Now, if your head starts graying because you're staying up all night every night, then it's like, oh my goodness, I'm only 30, but I look like I'm 60. So then, that's where the changes come. That's when you become extreme.
I think what Tony's trying to say here is, as long as you start to realize and start to change, it's never too late to change. Even you start to feel like there is a serious health problem. after that, as long as you start to change your lifestyle, to eat healthier, to start exercising, you will get better from there and you will gain your healthy and strong body back. It's never too late to start living healthier. And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Tony here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there.
And you can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese and don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings.
感谢收听，我们下次再见。
再见。